Radhe Radhe everyone. Hello, hi, namaste. Today I'm going to talk about Saturn in the sign of Scorpio. Now, Saturn, we know that we have studied so far that Saturn is, a planet which represents our pending karma in this life, like the pending karma that we have taken birth to perform. It also represents the failures and the, miseries, the agony and the pain that we have to go through in order to learn, and in order to pay back our karma. So, and Saturn, it's a tough planet. It rules the sign of Capricorn and Aquarius, and its rulership itself shows that it is about discipline, organization, rule. It is master and servant both, depending upon who uses Saturn for what. So Saturn is a very serious and disciplined planet, and if you are very disciplined in life, you can check that your Saturn is well placed. And if you are not disciplined, if you are lazy, and if you like to procrastinate a lot, then probably your Saturn is not in good shape, and you have to go through the changes that the Saturn expects you to go through, and then you will become particularly expert in that area. So now that Saturn is in a very karmic sign, that why I'm saying that Scorpio is a very karmic sign. See, the reason is that Scorpio is the natural eighth zodiac, sign. It lies in the eighth house, so it represents all the mysteries and all the secrets which the eighth house represents. So secret, whenever we are talking about that, it's something which is secret, so we never ever can decode this sign properly. We can say that eighth house is something which is hidden, eighth house is occult, it's death and longevity, it is something that we don't talk it's about the dark, the dark truths and the dark things, the things which are mysteries and the secrets. So if something is secret, then how can you know it correctly, right? It is also a very, very intense sign. Like moon gets debilitated in Scorpio, like mind, whenever moon represents our mind, so whenever it is in the sign of Scorpio, it gets debilitated. It shows that Scorpio is a sign of sudden transformation, and Saturn is not a planet which likes transformation, and that too very sudden. Saturn is a slow moving planet, and in fact it changes one sign, it goes from one sign to another sign in 2.5 years. So this kind of change Saturn goes through. So Saturn obviously doesn't like this transformation and this change, the kind of things that are represented by Scorpio. Then Scorpio is also a very karmic sign. It's ruled by Mars and Ketu. Okay, so Mars is obviously our willpower and action, and Ketu is our past life expertise. So Ketu is the karmic co-ruler of Scorpio sign. So it shows that when you have Saturn in Scorpio, there could be a situation that you have to go through a lot of emotional pain. And when you go through pain, when you go through a lot of trauma and agony and misery and emotional pain, then only you are able to see the light. I think there is this quote also, that you are able to see light only after going through pain, because if everything is rosy in your life, then you might even not understand your pain, someone else's pain, etc. So what happens is that since Scorpio is a very karmic sign, Saturn is a very karmic planet, so this sign is this placement is like really tough, first of all. And the thing is that initially, in the beginning of life, before Saturn matures, people tend to do things which might end up creating situation in which they become lonely, and then they have to learn how to deal with their fears. In fact, Saturn in Scorpio is a theme of having anxiety and fear in your life. So you basically end up doing, because of your own karma and because of your own placements, you end up doing certain things in life, maybe because unintentionally or intentionally you end up doing it, and then you have to go through a lot of pain, miseries and agony, and then eventually it is like when you go through this pain, you go through this transformation, then you become then you become aware about your own emotions, and then you ultimately understand this process of transformation, sudden change, and the pain that you might have experienced. And it's also about facing your fear. And it is if what happens in anxiety when we are not ready to face our fears. And Saturn is in fact fear, and wherever Saturn is placed, it shows fear related to the Saturn is a planet which is the karaka of fear. Like Jupiter is the wisdom, Saturn is obviously discipline, structure, rules and organization, but it is also fear. So it is about facing our fear and becoming comfortable with it, and realizing that we have to find our own peace. We have to we have to learn to be happy. We have to learn to be peaceful, because otherwise life will be full of anxiety and pain and agony, and you will be keep thinking about yourself. But if you will look around, you will see that so many people are going through pain. So it's not just about your pain, my friend. Saturn in the Mars ruled sign, in one sign of Mars, that is the Aries, Saturn gets debilitated. So Saturn is obviously not comfortable in the sign of in the signs ruled by Mars. Scorpio is of course ruled by Mars along with Ketu, but since the energy that Scorpio carries, the energy of complete transformation, so when Saturn is in the sign of Scorpio, you will have a lot of situation in your life where you will get the opportunity to change, where you will get the opportunity to transform. Only when you will resist this change, only when you will try to control this change, then only some challenging and some negative experiences of Scorpio in Saturn can be seen, which obviously I do not wish for anybody. But it's about controlling your own understanding. More than controlling, it's about understanding your emotion, understanding this entire process of transformation in life. And wherever obviously this Scorpio sign is getting placed, like for Leo it is the fourth house, and for Scorpio ascendant people it is the first house, and for Aries ascendant it is the eighth house. Similarly, you can understand your own case, but you have to understand that this is a tough placement, because see, no planet is happy in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is about transformation. We as human beings, we never like our mind, like moon gets exalted in the sign of Venus ruled Taurus, because human mind likes stability, human mind likes something which is stable. Okay, so it doesn't like when it is going through a lot of transformation, and that too, all the time changes are going on, and there's some chaotic thing is also happening because of that transformation and that change. But as I said in the beginning, like Saturn in Scorpio will always give you chances to change, but only when you will resist this change, and you'll not be then you'll not be able to handle this energy of Saturn in Scorpio. And of course, as we know that Scorpio has 3 nakshatras, which are Vishakha, Anuradha and Jyeshtha. So Vishakha, we know that the ruler is Jupiter, and Anuradha is ruled by Saturn itself, and Jyeshtha is ruled by Mercury. So the placements of where Saturn is lying in which nakshatra will also we also have to see to make any final say. Okay, and the placements of Mars and Ketu is obviously important, because the Mars and Ketu are the rulers of Scorpio. So if Mars and Ketu are in good dignity, then of course Saturn is getting some support, like Scorpio sign at least is strong. Okay, but if Mars and Ketu are also debilitated, and then of course the things are like tough, and the person will be able to understand the change and process of transformation only by going through a lot of pain and agony and misery and sufferings, which definitely Saturn represents, as a karma teacher. It is tough. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. In case you have Saturn in Scorpio, then you can comment below. And don't resist a lot of change. Sometimes Saturn and Scorpios may become all about himself or herself, and that's obviously not as a human being we are supposed to be. And we have to also understand, everybody should understand their own pain, but also the pain of the others. And what is funny thing is, like, I just want to share before I wrap up, that Mars get exalted, in the sign ruled by Saturn, Capricorn, because Mars loves discipline, organization, and the 10th house, properties, discipline, organization, rule, government, etc. And Saturn gets debilitated in the Mars ruled sign Aries, and it's so uncomfortable in the sign of Scorpio. You can just see. So the friendly nature of the planets is not determining. It is not a determining factor. It is all about how the planets are getting the environment. So Scorpio is a sign of transformation, is a sign of chaos, is a sign of a lot of things, mystical things, secrecies and all. So no planet likes that. No planet is comfortable there. It is said that Ketu is the only planet which does good in Scorpio. So yeah, I hope this makes sense, and if in case it did, then you can let me know where your Saturn is placed. In case if it is in Saturn Scorpio, then you can comment your experience. It will help others as well. In case you want to reach out to me, you want to read my articles, you can go to this website. You can also reach out to me on my email ID. Thank you so much for watching. Keep chanting Hare Krishna and keep saying Radhe Radhe, Jai Shri Krishna.